Hello, everyone. Thank you once again for joining me here at the Gold Standard Group YouTube channel. I'm your sponsor, Lucky Rico, and hopefully what I do here is provide value for you, those who are listening to me ramble on about things that I think are important, like owning gold bullion, also adopting blockchain technology. You're going to have to start taking time to learn this technology, ladies and gentlemen. You may not think you want to learn it now, but there's going to be a time where you're going to need to know certain things about how blockchain works and how Bitcoin works and how crypto wallets work. And speaking of work, if you want to work till you die, then don't network market. Don't build residual income, something that's going to work for you while you sleep. And I definitely want to shout out some people right now that understand that whole idea because, first of all, I gained a new affiliate in Omaha, Nebraska. D Hen out there in Omaha, Nebraska. Thank you so much for joining my network, Gold Standard Group Network. I'm so proud and honored that people have been drawn to the Gold Standard Group through the messages and through the information that I've been sharing here on this channel. And what I simply want to tell anyone out there listening to me is that if you have a voice, you can use it and attract the things that you want to you as well. All I'm doing is taking you on my journey daily in my Karatbars experience. Let's put it like that, the Karatbars experience.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
And all of us have our own personal experiences with Karatbars, all right, whether it's bad or good. We all have a story to tell, and it was great that I was able to join a conference call on Saturday for the Israel group. Yes, the teams in Israel reached out, and they are working and building their Karatbars business out in Israel. And Lucky Rico was a guest on their conference call, and I'm so humbled and honored to have been able to speak. And the people that joined also from the United States who joined that call and participated as well, Miss Knox, Mr. Range, thank you so much for supporting us, family. Karatbars is a huge family, man. Even though we have several small teams all around the world, everybody's doing the same thing and spreading information about why it's important to own gold bullion and how you can get some gold bullion through Karatbars International. So let's jump into some information that I think is important today, man, because we got to put our boxing gloves on. Now, before we get into our story of the day, and you're going to want to stick around and hear the story, ladies and gentlemen. You know me, I'm going to tell it like I see it. But Bitcoin, we got to start right here on the daily chart. Bitcoin right now trading at 8,800. We found that resistance around the 9,000 level. I mentioned that in our last video that we may see some resistance around that 9,000 level. But Bitcoin wicked all the way up a few days ago. Bitcoin wicked all the way up to 9,500, somewhere in that range. And we dropped back nicely to our 9-day moving average to around 8,400, right around in that range. And now we are sitting around 8,800 comfortably, I think, right now on a support level between 8,700, 8,800. And when we start pushing that 9,000 level again, I think we're going to be able to push above it. We see a lot of positive signs right now for Bitcoin. Now, I've been telling you the lagging span has finally made its way into bullish territory. And while Bitcoin is consolidating, I'm anticipating a nice pump in Bitcoin price over to close to that 10,000 level. I believe we're going to see at least, we're going to get back to at least, so I think we can see at least to 10,300, 10,300. I'm calling for it because I think what Bitcoin is trying to do, if you kind of zoom out a little bit on the daily, Bitcoin price right now is trying to just get back into a previous trend that we were in here. This trend that had started back in December of 2019. This is one we thought we were all going to the moon, but then that trend quickly turned around in February of 20. And, maybe Bitcoin gave us the signal early on that the virus situation that was going on in China, this was probably a pretty early indication on what the stock markets were going to do. I mean, I heard about the virus in January, late December, or January timeframe. What was going on with the virus over in China, and maybe Bitcoin moved before the traditional markets did. Maybe it was our signal, who knows? But we saw what happened. But now it looks like Bitcoin is trying to get back to that trend, to that upward trend that, we were already on before the anomaly, the Black Swan event. Now let's look at gold, because gold is also trending up. Gold is making that move right now, consolidating as well. But we can see an explosion in gold, I think, very soon. If you're looking at the RSI on the daily is low. It's like it's oversold right now. Oversold. Gold is oversold, but being in the oversold conditions, we're still looking at 1704.88 stable for gold by the ounce. So we got Bitcoin consolidating and we got gold consolidating. What is the market going to do next? Now, I found this story on CoinDesk today, came out today, May 4th. First Mover has a column over here. Capitalism's biggest crisis isn't driving people to Bitcoin. It's the volatility that's driving people to Bitcoin. All right, so I highlighted some things in this article that, I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. I think you should read it for yourself. But one of crypto bull's longest running narratives is traditional finance is structurally unstable. We say that all the time, especially when we talk about gold, that the traditional system is unstable. And when the system comes under pressure, investors will turn to digital assets. Well, that still has to be proven, in my opinion. I think it's going to be more tangible assets like gold bullion. But the Federal Reserve is printing up so much money, trillions of dollars of new money, and pumping it into the financial system. And they're buying up junk bonds. And it's crazy, man. So many in the crypto industry have stuck to this narrative, this message that the traditional system is decaying. In its year-end 2020 results, London-listed mining firm Argo Blockchain said its expected looser monetary policy to hurt confidence in fiat currencies. So what the Federal Reserve is doing right now is potentially hurting all fiat currencies. And it's not just our Federal Reserve, it's reserve central banks all over the world that are just printing and printing and printing. But even as average sentiment last week hit its highest level since July 2018, the number of people discussing Bitcoin on Twitter has dropped to just 12,000, according to Joshua Frank, CEO of the TIE. And people are tweeting about Bitcoin. They're just not tweeting about what we think they're tweeting about. They're tweeting on what's happening with the Bitcoin halving, where the mining reward is getting cut in half every 4 years. So tweets mentioning halving were 3 times higher than the number mentioning gold, which is seen by many traditional investors as an acceptance hedge against inflation for the broader financial turmoil. So this story is out there on CoinDesk. You definitely want to go read it. But I think some things about the halving you need to understand, because Bitcoin has dropped a little bit, since, just a few days ago, we saw 9,500 in Bitcoin. But this tweet came out by Danny Scott, and it details the first, its second, and currently the third halving prices. And you can see what happened after the first halving. At $5, the price went to $116. And then on the 456, $232. And then at the second halving, the price was at $453. And then the price went to $1,402 for Bitcoin. 9,067. Close of 2019, 5,423, and now currently it's 8,814. Well, at the time of this tweet, so we can expect a huge jump in price of Bitcoin after the halving. But also, what I think is driving cryptocurrencies and gold right now is what Donald Trump and the Fed are doing to destroy the banking system. Because this story came out in Forbes, with the Fed and the Trump administration pumping a staggering $6 trillion into the system since March. Now, as the economic reality of a post-virus world sinks in, President Fed are edging closer to doing negative interest rates. Something that Warren Buffett says it will be dangerous to do. As a matter of fact, Warren Buffett warned there could be extreme consequences for doing so. So this article is out there, folks, on Forbes. Go check it out. But now I want to get on to some other news. I don't know if it's real news, might be fake news, but it's kind of pointing to might be real news. But New Zealand, the country of New Zealand, has added Karatbars to its warning list. The FMA has added Karatbars to its warning list. New Zealand FMA today on May 4th came out with this article. Recommended caution when dealing with Karatbars International and its associated entity, as they do not appear to be registered companies or financial service providers in New Zealand. The regulator reported the following details of the company, and they provided Karatbars information there. And what this means is that the FMA of New Zealand doesn't understand that Karatbars is not a money business. It's not a financial business. Karatbars is an e-commerce company that sells pretty much gold products that you can just pretty much put in your cart and check out and get delivered to you. That's what Karatbars does. And this same type of statement has also come out from the FSA in South Africa, as well as BaFin, the home country of Karatbars. BaFin is the regulatory entity in Germany, and Karatbars is a German company. It's a GmbH. It's a German company regulated by German law. And even BaFin has walked back their statements. South Africa has also walked back their statements after they understood exactly what the business of Karatbars really is. So I actually like to see things like this happen. That means countries are paying attention. They understand that Karatbars is out there, and they just need to do their own due diligence as well to understand that this is not a e-money business. This is a e-commerce business that has an affiliate system, and we get paid in commission to talk about Karatbars and show people their products. But I also went out and did some searching on the FMA, the Financial Market Authority website, and I did a search for Karatbars. So it indeed turned out that on their official FMA Gov website, that it's that post is there. Suspected scam. May 4th, Karatbars International, associated companies, just like I read it in that news article. So that bulletin was released on the FMA. And I told you before, folks, if you follow this channel, that there are going to be more hurdles that we have to cross, more countries that we'll have to deal with. And hopefully Karatbars and the legal team is working with the FMA authority in New Zealand to clear everything up so that FMA in New Zealand will also have to publish a retracted statement or an updated statement about what Karatbars International is doing. And for me, every time a country has to update their statement in favor of Karatbars International, that does nothing but make us stronger. So I wanted to go out and find out just a little bit more about who the FMA is. So I typed in New Zealand FMA in Google search, and I found out that New Zealand FMA is busy warning people against companies. So they've got Profit Bitcoin on their radar, something going on in New Zealand with Profit Bitcoin. I'm not sure what that is. They also suspended Encore FX, their derivatives license, and I understand why they did that. You can go out and read that for yourself. They also add Tech Vision to its warning list. I'm not sure who Tech Vision is, but that was 5 days ago. The FMA authority in New Zealand has been busy, even flagging Tiger brokers for weak AML protections. So I also wanted to, dig just a little bit deeper, man, because if you understand how I do things, I don't look at things at surface level. I try to dig as deep as I can, like a gold miner would. But New Zealand has abundant resources of coal, silver, iron ore, limestone, and gold. The most important metallic mineral produced are gold, 10.62 tons, silver, 27.2 tons, and Titan mogaganite, iron sand, never heard of it, 2.15 million tons. The mining sector makes a significant contribution to the New Zealand economy. So all I did was go out to Wikipedia just to get a little bit more information on the country of New Zealand. And when you look at the country of South Africa, a lot of their GDP is also mining. It's also gold bullion. Because when you look at Karatbars for what it really is, it's really an e-commerce company. They actually sell products and they actually have an affiliate system, just like many other e-commerce companies out there for people to have home-based businesses. There's nothing crazy or scamish or strange about that. So when New Zealand does their due diligence, then they'll come to the conclusion as well that there's nothing wrong with Karatbars. So that goes out to everyone out there that may see this story and see this information. I know people sometimes get to be a little skirmish, when it comes to money. People have their emotions tied up into what they put their money into, what they invested in. And I understand it. I understand most people haven't disconnected their emotions from those investments. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, so I don't want you to ever just like look at this video or anything that I've done and make like crazy financial decisions. What I've attempted to do through all of these videos is just give you information and maybe hopefully some motivation for you to go out and do some research on your own and become better at reading charts, become better at Bitcoin investing, if you want to call it, or gold investing, better at making smart moves to position yourself and your legacies with something that's going to produce for them forever. I don't believe gold is ever going anywhere. We can't destroy it. We can't make any more of it. It's always going to be valuable. We're going to always find a use for it, even if it's not for financial purposes. Even if you listen to people like Mark Cuban and you think that there's no value in gold and you choose not to use it as a store of wealth, you can use gold in electronics. You can use gold in satellites. You can use gold in medicine. You can use gold so many other ways. And you know what I mean? That's why it's a product that's very important. It's a commodity that's very important. It's also an asset that's very important. And I think it's also important that you chop this all up for yourself. You look at all the details out there and you make decisions for yourself. There's going to be warning flags, for probably from more countries than just New Zealand. All right. But I think as soon as we get more of these countries that look at Karatbars, understand what it really is, and then take their official stances on it, it's just better for us. We already know what it is, folks. We already know what we're doing. We understand we're not an e-money business. We're not a financial investment, house. We don't do financial investments. All we do is earn income by saving gold. And then that's simply it. And we learn blockchain technology. We learn how Bitcoin works. And we have our own cryptocurrency or crypto token, the KBC coin. We got the Unival coin coming out. We know that this company, Karatbars, has several things that it's planning to do. All right. In June, we're going to see how this thing is going to perform. So I want to shout out everybody. I know Mr. Ovidiu Tomar came out today with a nice video on blockchain technology, broke it down really easy for you to understand. You definitely want to go check that out. And look, if you want to join my network, my Karatbars Gold Network, you can do that today, right now. I highly recommend it because tonight we have our Gold Standard Group conference call, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be off the chain. I'm trying to tell you, we have so much fun listening to the stories of our Karatbars leaders while we share the information to all the people who want to know about Karatbars International and how we really operate. It's really easy, folks. You don't have to overthink it. There's nothing to be scared of. There's nothing to be scared of. You can join my network right now, goldbackers.com, goldbackers.info, goldbackers.com, or goldbackers.info. If there's another person out there that has been talking to you about Karatbars, you make sure you go back and talk to that person right now. Right now. It's a good time. Now is always a good time to do something. All right? Not later. It's free to join Karatbars International. There's no reason for you to put it off. You don't have to give anything to us if you don't want to. When you make a decision to make purchases through Karatbars, you know that those are your gold bars that you're buying. That's not gold that you have to go buy and then sell to somebody else. You're not a gold dealer. You're a gold saver. I'm a gold saver. And I believe it's a noble thing to do to help other people save in a precious asset. All right. So we'll see you tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, meeting number 540-816-026. Join the Zoom meeting. We will be also streaming to YouTube and Facebook. All right. So be ready, y'all. We'll talk to you later. Have a good day.